Hi there, and thank you for joining me for today's live reading of Mr. Lucky by Lee Wood, and this is presented by Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Chapter 1, James Sheldon. Tuesday, 18th October 2016. It is a bitterly cold Tuesday afternoon in October. I can feel the icy wind biting harder with each fading minute of daylight. I'm hunched in a grubby doorway next to a shop to let sign. In front of me, on the pavement, is my woolly green hat. It's next to a crudely written cardboard sign that reads, "Homeless. Please help." I'm desperately hoping that someone will donate a coin or two because all I have to show for the past 3 hours is the pitiful sum of 80 pence. More out of hope than expectation, as people walk past, I ask, "Spare some change, please?" But they all pretend not to hear and keep walking. What's this? I glance up. Someone who looks every inch the successful businessman has stopped in front of me. He's short in stature and somewhat overweight. The fine cut of his suit tells me it's made to measure. His hair is graying at the temples, so I'd put him in his early 50s. The pin badge on his lapel reveals he's a member of the local small business association. I look down at the handmade shoes, which probably cost an average weekly wage. He places the large package he's carrying on the ground and smiles. "Let's see what I can do for you." From his gruff accent, you wouldn't know he's got money. I watch as he dips his hand into his trouser pocket and pulls out a silver clip containing a thick wad of notes. My jaw drops as he peels off a 20-pound note and bends forward to hand it to me. I reach out gratefully, but before my fingers are quite close enough, he snatches it back. Then I watch in horror as he produces a lighter from his pocket and sets fire to the note. "There we go. You wanted change. I've changed the cash into ashes." With that, he picks up his package and walks away, laughing loudly to himself. I guess he must think I'm a dirty, smelly, homeless tramp, too lazy or too drunk to find a job. I get it. It happens a lot. Maybe people would think differently if they knew the truth. Every homeless person has a story. After all, we don't choose to be here. Something terrible has inevitably happened to turn our world on its head. So, what's my story? 17 months ago, 14th of May, 2015. It's a beautiful spring day, and I'm enjoying the warmth of the sun on my face. Many of the flower beds are coming into bloom. I'm relishing a rare couple of days off from work. I've spent the morning pottering around in the garden and cutting the grass. By the time I've locked the mower back in the shed, it's close to lunchtime. Feeling peckish, I make myself a cheese sandwich and brew coffee while catching up with the lunchtime news. I'm sad to hear that blues legend B.B. King has died. So I switch off the TV, dig out my B.B. King and Friends CD, and drift away into the world of my own. The brilliance of the guitar playing sends shivers down my spine. Halfway through The Thrill Is Gone, I hear the rat-tat-tat of the front door knocker. I'm expecting my wife, Miriam, and our two kids, Jack, aged 6, and Abigail, 3, back after visiting her parents for a few days. I assume Miriam has mislaid her keys, as she often does, or Jack has run ahead to give me a hug. But when I open the door, I know something bad is coming. I'm confronted by a fresh-faced, uniformed police officer. Standing by his side is a woman in her early 30s, dressed in everyday clothes. Usually, most people would try to recall if they had been speeding, or if their car tax is out of date. But as a serving police detective, I know they haven't come to discuss a minor traffic offense. "Hello, sir. Are you James Sheldon?" I managed to nod. "We haven't met before. I'm Carla Parsons, the new detective sergeant. I transferred yesterday from Derby. Can we step inside?" I invite them into the lounge and notice her body tense up. Then she delivers the words that will haunt me forever. "I'm afraid you need to prepare yourself for bad news. I'm so sorry to have to tell you that your wife and 2 children have been involved in a fatal accident." I freeze. The woman says nothing for a few seconds. I know from my police training she has paused to allow the message to sink in. Then she continues. "We're not sure of the full facts at this point, but according to an eyewitness, it appears to be a hit and run. The incident happened outside the Saverland supermarket. We believe it was joyriders as they fled the scene, and it's confirmed the vehicle had been stolen. The tone of her voice softens as she continues. I'm so sorry for your loss. Is there anyone we can contact to come and be with you? I notice her nod to the young uniformed officer, a signal for him to go into the kitchen and start filling the kettle, as if a cup of tea will bring them back. Suddenly, instead of kissing my lovely wife and hugging my kids, I'm left with the unenviable task of arranging the funerals of my entire family. Chapter 2. Dave Rex. Thursday, 12th of October, 2006. Dave Rex ambles away from the food truck, his mouth salivating at the double cheeseburger. He is about to take his first bite when he catches a glimpse of two men standing by his market stall. Usually, he would welcome the sight of potential customers, but what he sees makes the burger slip from his fingers to decorate the pathway and cover his footwear in ketchup. It's the words, trading standards, emblazoned across the back of their jackets. Instantly, he changes direction and scuttles away. He is aware his speedy departure will allow them to seize all his stock in the cash box with his day's takings. Shit. And to add insult to injury, today is Dave's 40th birthday. Not the kind of surprise he'd been hoping for. Could this be the sign that's been niggling him away at him for the past few weeks, telling him it's time to get out of the fake designer clothes business? Sure, it pays the bills, but he isn't exactly making a fortune. Besides, it's all gone online nowadays, run by a younger crowd who are savvy about computers and websites and stuff he has no knowledge of or interest in. Dave had planned to use the day's takings to treat himself to a juicy steak dinner at a fancy restaurant. Instead, he's reduced to eating a tin of heated up baked beans sitting in the scuzzy mattress in his tiny bedsit. He picks up the bottle containing his favorite tipple, Jack Daniels. He pours, but the content barely coats the bottom of his glass. It's the final insult. He lights the spliff he rolled earlier and takes a puff. As it takes effect, he has an idea. His old pal Bernie is the laziest person he's ever met, but he always seems to have a bundle of cash in his pocket, all from a bit of dealing. Dave recalls the phrase Bernie has bored him with 1,000 times. Finally, it seems to have penetrated his mind. You're missing out, Dave, he's forever saying. People always enjoy a bit of weed.